Well, welcome. My name's Pat.
Hi, Pat. I'm Tanya.
Hi, Tanya.
I have just a little bit of time. I'm shopping around for chairs, maybe 15 minutes or so. I need to go grab my kids. What can you tell me about these chairs?
Okay, well, if we only have 15 minutes, what I'd like to start with is possibly this chair here. So if you just sit down, and maybe as we're looking at it, I can show you a couple of things and ask you a couple questions. Okay. Who are you looking for this chair?
My dad.
Ah, your dad.
Yeah.
Now, does he happen to have any kind of back issues?
He does. He's actually recovering from back surgery
okay,
right now.
Great. Does he have trouble sleeping at night?
He does. He does.
Ah, okay. Is he up on his feet during the day?
Not very much right now. I'm hoping having this type of chair might help.
Well, that gives me some idea what to go for. Well, this is kind of a special chair for us. It's an UltraComfort chair. It's called Stellar Positioning Chair. If you just pick up the remote, I think you'll notice that it's quite an unusual looking remote. Mm-hmm. It's got a nice shape to it. It feels comfortable in your hand. But it also has some unique features to it, and we'll go over some of these features. But it is a simple lift chair, since you're looking for a lift chair. So it does have a lift button and a recline button. A lot of people don't understand that a lift chair also is a recliner. So this can be used as a lift chair and as a recliner, which is important for probably your dad and what they use. So let's first just look down at the bottom. There's a little customizable area that shows a chair. It's got a back on it, and it's got a foot on it. So let's just take that bottom left button that looks like it's going to push the back, and notice how it's an independent back. Mm-hmm. Now, have you ever seen an independent back chair before?
No, I don't think I have.
There are a few of them out there, but it's important to understand that when you have an independent back chair, yes, it has an infinite amount of positions, but the biggest thing is when you're sitting in a recliner and maybe your feet are up in your back and maybe you put a pot of tea on, or maybe your neighbor's coming over, a lot of times it takes a lot of time to go from your back position to your sitting position. So in this case, if you knew that your neighbor was coming over, you could just sit back, recline back a little bit, watch TV, and then when the doorbell rings, ding dong, you can just get right out of the chair and go get it. So that's one important thing about having the independent back. The other thing you'll notice in our little positioning area, we have a zero gravity button, ZG button, we have a TV button, we have a sit button, we have a sleep button. So what that means is we have programmed in positions in there that'll be beneficial to your wellness, but at the same time, these can actually be programmed, and I'll show you how to do that. So first off, let's just try that little TV button. Because a lot of times people just want to get in a chair and hold down a button, they want to watch TV. Mm-hmm. But many times we get back to that TV position, it's like, hey, this isn't right for me. So we can customize a little bit. So let's say that's a TV button, but you want to have your head a little bit farther forward. So let's take that bottom left-hand customizable section. Let's put the head up this time. Okay. And let's just see what happens. So we're going to put the head up, and you say, okay, that's where I want to watch TV. All right. So lift your finger up, hold down that little P button, which stands for program. It takes about 3 seconds. All the lights will start flashing, and now you just touch your TV button. Just touch it. And now that has been programmed in your TV position. So if you were back farther and all of a sudden you say, oh, I want to watch TV, hold down the TV button, you're back in there again. Now, when we first started this demonstration, I always ask you if you're the person you're buying the chair for, your dad, whether they had some sort of issues. And one of the issues was that you thought they might have some back issues. He's had a back operation. Mm-hmm. Well, let's hold down that ZG button. And ZG does stand for zero gravity. Zero gravity positioning is a position that was determined by NASA that actually helps relax your entire muscle system, and it will help actually increase your circulation and make it more efficient. So what's happening to your body right now, if we could let you sit there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, is your brain is going to start to say, hey, heart, you can slow down to its resting state. So it gives you a nice relaxed feeling. It also is relaxing those paraspinal muscles, those muscles that run up and down your side of your vertebrae, and sometimes those get a little twisted and they get a little tight and bent, and that's how you get back aches. So if we can relax those muscles over time, and pretty soon you'll have a new muscle memory, and we can relax the muscles, we get rid of that little tight area in your back, and we can relieve many of the back issues that are occurring, which I think is probably a lot of times what happens to people, especially as they grow older. Now, we also know that we're going to make sure that your circulation is good, which means when you're sleeping in a sleep position like this, a lot of times in the middle of the night, we have crumped up our knees or we've crumped our elbows and maybe little parts of your body are falling asleep. When you're in a zero gravity position and your muscles are totally relaxed, we're also relaxing all of the fluids that are going through your body. So there is no need for your body to actually move. And believe it or not, when you cut off a little bit of your circulation, you're not dying, but if I straighten my elbows out, I cut off the circulation. If I can keep them bent a little bit, especially when I'm sleeping with my legs bent like this, then my brain says, everything's okay, don't toss and turn. And that's why it's proven in a zero gravity position sleeping, we're going to relax your muscles enough that you're going to wake up in the morning totally relaxed. So it's a different feeling than you're ever going to have. And a lot of times that helps the person get through the day, whether they're old or young, and making sure that they're excited and ready to go. Now also we talked about the back a little bit. So I'd like you to hold down that little customizable head button again, hold it down. And what you're going to go back into is called the Trendelenburg position. And what's unique about the Trendelenburg position is that it's for kind of decreasing the liquids that form in the bottom of your legs when you're up on your feet all day long and you're home and you get tired. And pretty soon maybe your spouse says, go to the doctor. You're just irritable. You're terrible. But instead of that, the doctor says, no, you don't need to come to me. What you need to do is go home and put your feet above your heart. So where are you going to go home and put your feet above your heart? Not too many places are there. Most people say, hey, I'm going to work for 14 hours today. I'm going to go home and I'm going to put my feet above my heart. So I'm going to go to the bedroom, going to put pillows under my feet. And what's going to happen in about 2 minutes?
Pillows are going to go flat.
And you're probably going to fall asleep, right? And your family's out in the family room. It's not good you being in a room sleeping and they're out in the family room. So having a zero gravity chair in the family room area, some area, it's great. But also, did you notice how it relieves some of that pressure in your back as you went back? Okay, that helps, relieve the pressure in your vertebrae, which again, if you have some back issues, you're going to feel this. So we can go back and forth. We actually stretch and do this. But mainly it's getting rid of fluids, helping your back issues get better. So why don't we now come back up, get to that lift position. And what I want to show you is how our lift chairs are different than many lift chairs that are out there. So just bring it all the way up to the lift position. What I want you to notice is most likely you're not going to fall out of the chair when you get up. Because most people that need a lift chair means that they probably have weak knees. And if you have a lift chair like most companies, you're just thrown out onto your knees and nothing could be worse than if you fell because you can't support it. So we stop all the way up. We have nice firm arms on ours so you can hold on to that and you can push yourself off the last of the 3 inches that are there. Does that make some sense, getting in and out of the chair?
That's simple.
Now we're talking fast, but I want you to realize is that these are specialty chairs. And what we kind of covered was number one, that we knew we had an independent back. Now is that something that you could use?
Yes.
It's probably good, isn't it? Okay, then the second thing we started talking about was the customizable buttons. So those are program position buttons. So if you need a sleep, do you need a sit area? We can customize that center part so you have a great TV position. So there's 4 buttons there that we can customize. And then the last thing was that we talked about zero gravity. And the zero gravity I feel is important because anybody that has back issues, sleep issues, or even circulation issues probably need those features and benefits more than anything else in a chair. And they only come in a zero gravity positioning chair. So if you're looking at a recliner or any recliner that lifts and you're looking at 3 position chairs, you're not going to get the benefits that maybe your dad needs or even you need when you take a chair like this home.
My dad is almost 300 pounds. What, with this type of chair, like how long would it hold up? And, is there a warranty that would come with it if something should happen?
Yeah, we're a very unique and great company. The company's been around for many years. One thing they pride on is making sure that it's built right the first time. So first off, this chair has a fully supported solid hard rock maple double Dowden corner blocked support wood frame. Okay, that frame is warranted for a lifetime. Okay, the mechanism has no holes drilled in it, which sounds kind of funny, but we weld all of our joints and things that are going together. It's which means that if you had a metal tube and you tried to bend it over your knee, it'd be hard to bend. But if I took a 1/4 inch drill with a 1/4 inch drill bit and drilled a hole through that, it'd be very easy to build or to bend. Imagine buying a chair that has up to 18 holes in its metal mechanism. Do you think it's stronger or weaker than one that doesn't have that? We also use square tubing. Square tubing is 1/3 harder and 1/3 stronger than round tubing. But the warranty is a good question. Our product has a warranty, which is the lifetime mechanism, lifetime frame, but that warrant is to the weight. So we have chairs, our junior petite chairs are 300 pounds, and then our regular standard chairs are all 375 pounds. So it's a great warranty, but you also have a concern probably about the motors. Well, our motors come with a super warranty because what we call it is a 7-year prorated warranty. But the first 3 years that you own the chair, the motors are covered for 100%, which means we're going to give you a free motor for the first 3 years. 4, 5, 6, 7, what you do is a prorated. And a prorated is like the prorated you find in mattresses. You probably bought a mattress and the person said, you have this 20-year prorated warranty. Well, we have an additional 4 years. So if 3 years is 100%, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are prorated. So in the first 7 years, you're going to get some help on replacing these motors. But hopefully that isn't going to happen because we build a very superior product to most products that are out there.
And fabrics, my mother's extremely finicky, so
Yeah.
would there be multiple choices to choose from, and how well will they wear?
Yeah. Well, we have many fabrics, and again, what makes us unique in the industry is we are not just a recliner company. We're a lift chair company. So we have many fabrics that go on this. But in our industry, we know that your dad and whoever is buying a lift chair is going to be using it 24 hours a day. That means that they're going to be wearing the fabric out faster than a normal person that comes home from work, watches TV for 3 hours, and falls asleep in the mattress or in their bed. So we make sure that our products or our fabrics have a 30,000 double rub. It's called a wax and beak double rub test. A double rub test means that they're taking a metal machine with cotton fabric on it. That's like the jeans. And we're going to rub it back and forth 30,000 times before it shows wear. In your standard recliner companies, they're going to use anywhere between a 6,000 and 9,000 double rub test for fancy fabrics, maybe for your living room, and then they're going to use 9,000 to 12,000 double rubs for their family room furniture. We don't do that. We start at 30,000 double rubs. So we're hoping we're getting twice the wear out of what most people do. But we know that your father is going to be using the chair probably 24 hours a day. Whether they sleep in it, watch TV in it, they're going to get in and out of it. So we want it to wear really good. Now, I got another question for you. Does your father have any kind of maybe a dog, or maybe do they have grandkids that are coming over?
Oh, my son he's 8 months old, and so he'll be over frequently, I'm sure, and want to sit on his lap and that kind of thing. Yeah,
well, sometimes they get little messes, dogs, whether they just smell or whatever goes on. And we have some specialty fabrics. One of the specialty fabrics is what we call our Ultra Plush. And this is the Ultra Plush in what's coffee bean. And if you sit right over here and look at this chair here, this is Ultra Plush in what we call a distressed saddle. Now, what makes this even more unique in the industry is it feels pretty good, doesn't it? It's nice and soft. It feels a little stretchy.
Is this leather?
It looks like leather, but it isn't leather. It's a polyurethane, and it's a true breathable polyurethane.
What does that mean, breathable?
Yeah, the breathable polyurethane means there's some polyurethanes out there, and people say they're breathable, but you can breathe through this. You can actually put your lips to this, breathe in and out. If it's breathable, that means that this is actually temperature neutral. Now, temperature neutral is meaning that if it's really warm in your house and things get a little sticky, you can actually sit down, lay down on this chair, and it's not going to feel the hot. It's going to be temperature neutral. If your house goes down to 60 degrees at night, maybe because you like to sleep in the cold, then when you get into this chair and you've got bare legs, it's not going to be that shock of a leather that feels cold or a vinyl that feels cold. But the biggest thing is many people have chairs in fabrics, and they'll say, oh yeah, this can be cleaned with soap and water. And of course, now you have dogs and you have babies, and you get smells that are in there. So this product is very unique. First off, it can be cleaned with 409 as a cleaner, but it'll also be disinfected. Now, disinfected means we can take a bucket or a bowl of water, 5 parts of water to 1 part of bleach, take your sponge, and we can wipe down all the surfaces on this chair and disinfect the smells away.
That doesn't harm the fabric?
Doesn't harm the fabric whatsoever.
Discolor it?
Doesn't discolor it. Now, is that something you think your dad might be interested in?
Yeah, he might. I appreciate you. Time has really I've got to go.
I know.
Thank you so much for that.
What I'd like to do is I'd like to hand you my card, and on my card is on the back of it is 3 little things. Just remember that we talked about zero gravity positioning, which was important because he has back issues, and we know they can help alleviate some back issues. Okay. We talked about the warranty, and the warranty is very important to know that you're covered for 7 years on the motors, because I know that's going to be a concern with as people get older, so probably with your dad. But the third thing is by going with our Ultra Plush fabric, you can actually disinfect smells away from it, and you know that it's going to wear at least 10 times longer than most fabrics. So make sure you check all those things out before you purchase.
All right, I will. Thank you.
All right, Tanya, thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
All right.